Happy Thursday. We are just starting the second part of our week. Make sure that you are working hard creating your study guide. Make sure you're studying for your geometry test. That way you're going to be able to be successful tomorrow when you take a couple of your tests. Today you're going to once again have a podcast, so make sure you're listening carefully, that you give me the exact name of the podcast, and that you read all of the directions to write the correct notes to submit. Also in science, you're going to be once again working on Earth's rotation versus revolution. So make sure that you are following the Nearpod to its completion and you're submitting any work that is being asked of you. Today we are going to be reading a story called Moonball. The afternoon the moon came out early, hanging over the field like a popfly. Danny Brower struck out again. Round-faced and grinning, the pitcher threw his glove into the air to the cheering of his team. They called Danny names like Hitless Wonder and Danny the Whiffer, while Danny's own teammates groaned. No one talked to him when he came back to the bench, not even his coach. In a way, Danny was glad. If anyone had said something the least bit nice, he might have cried. He trudged home alone, his gloves snugged under his arm. The memory of jeers and catcalls echoed in his ears. He was glad no one in his family had come to the game this time. Danny went up to his room and lay on his bed for a long, long time. Not sleeping, just watching the moon round the bases of the sky. He remembered every single game he had ever played. Just once, he thought. Just once, I wish I could hit the ball. He felt tired, as if he had played the game all by himself. Tired, but not sleepy. And then outside, night's field beckoned. All at once, Danny floated, glove in hand, out the open window to play baseball with the All-Stars. They greeted him like an old friend. "Dan the man," called Orion. "My boy," Dipper cried. The Gemini twins gave him a high five. Regal laughed and blew him a kiss, just like his Aunt Alice, who had played in the minors. And the rest of the All-Stars cheered. "Let's do it," came an angry voice. It was Moon, his round white face perspiring. His team, the Orbits, echoed him. "Let's get started," they called, taking the field. They threw the ball around the infield. Slip, slap went their gloves. The base paths glowed. "Play ball," cried Moon, and the game began in earnest. Ursa hit the first pitch smartly and got to second, flashing to the bag like a meteor to earth. Aries singled her to third, and a sharp bunt by Andromeda filled the bases, and then it was Danny's turn. Danny trudged to the plate, the bat heavy on his shoulder. "No hitter," sneered Moon. "What a whiffer," called the shortstop. Danny knew they were right. He started to turn, started to go back to the bench, but Regal was behind him whispering, "Eye on the ball is all." Aunt Alice said that too. Said it was the most important advice she herself had ever gotten. Danny nodded and smiled weakly at Regal. He gave the bat a few practice swings and then squeezed his eyes down to slits. He watched Moon pick up the resin bag. Moon passed the bag back and forth between his big hands. Sparks of light like twinkling stars shook loose. Then Moon dropped the bag, picked up the ball, and reared back and threw. The ball streaked toward Danny fast as a comet. He closed his eyes, swung hard, and missed. "No hitter," Moon laughed. It was not a nice laugh. He wound up for a second pitch. This time the ball came in slow. Danny blinked, swung again, and again he missed. Moon said nothing. He did not have to. Danny already knew what Moon was thinking. Moon wound up and threw the third pitch. It was a slider. Suddenly, Regal's voice sang out clear, "Eye on the ball is all." And this time, Danny kept his eyes open, watching the ball all the way. As it came closer, it was a sphere, an orb, a planet. It was big and round and beautiful. He could even see its seams. Danny swung hard. End connected. The bat made a sound like thunder when it hit. His hands stung with the power of it. "Run, Danny, run!" cried Regal. Moon threw his glove down in disgust. Danny watched the ball streak across the sky, falling to the far side of Earth. A home run. Danny ran and ran around the bases. First, then second, he heard the All-Stars cheer loud and louder. All of a sudden, they were quiet, like the moment right before sleep. "Eye on the ball," Danny thought to himself. That really is all. He blew a kiss to Regal as he ran. Then he rounded third and floated onto home plate. And do you know, it was as soft as his own bed, and somehow just as familiar. The end. All right, that book was for all my baseball 11 kiddos in our class. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you at 3. Bye.